we still have no idea who's won the election in Florida. No idea. Jesus Christ, man. The Democratic Party, one of the things that I do agree with, I don't believe they're going to put it through because they've been weak and invertebrates on this for the last 20, 30 years. But this thing of making sure that people can vote, and that's an automatic registration. If you're born, congratulations, you're a citizen. Part of your birthright is being able to vote. But we don't have that. What we have in Florida and in Georgia are political parties that do what they can in order to scrub people from the voter rolls or make it difficult for people to vote. And that's what's taking place here. The judge dealing with the Florida case has come up with a ruling this morning that is going to throw this case into a tailspin, seeing as these guys are only a few thousand votes or a few percentage points away from catching DeSantis or catching Rick Scott. Let me show you what I mean. I'll just read the case itself. Florida's historic recount was thrown once more into uncertainty on Thursday when a federal judge ruled that voters whose mail-in and provisional ballots were rejected because of issues with their signatures would have 2 more days to resolve the problems and possibly have their votes counted. The decision by Mark Walker of the U.S. District Court in Tallahassee came just hours ahead of Thursday afternoon deadline for election officials to complete a machine recount. It is particularly notable in the too close to call Senate race in which Rick Scott leads Ben Nelson by fewer than 13,000 votes. Walker's decision affects Floridians who cast their ballots by mail or voted provisionally, but whose signatures did not match the records maintained by state officials. More than 4,000 ballots across 45 counties in Florida were set aside because of inconsistent signatures, he wrote in his opinion. In the other 22 counties, the number is unknown. This could be thousands of votes, meaning Rick Scott may be in for a rude awakening. The judge concluded that mail-in voters weren't notified of the discrepancy until it was too late to fix, while state law gives provisional voters no opportunity to resolve the apparent signature irregularities. Meaning, if they see, this is so bizarre, you would think that the goal would be to ensure that voters will be able to vote. But in this case, they're finding ways to exclude people from the voting rolls. If there was a discrepancy versus state records versus the mail-in ballots, they would toss it out. I mean, that's pretty amazing. The judge is saying you can't do that. You can't do that. While the law gives provisional voters no opportunity to resolve the apparent signature irregularities. The precise issue in this case is whether Florida law allowed for county election officials to reject vote by mail provisional ballots for mismatched signatures. With no standard, an illusory process to cure, and no process to challenge the rejection, passes constitutional muster. Walker wrote, the answer is simple, it does not. The bias should be on allowing people to vote. I guess that's the wild part about this is our political system goes against this when it cuts against one of the parties. And so instead of saying, yes, we need to give the benefit of the doubt to the voter and give the voter an opportunity to fix this issue, some random guy just tosses it out. Some random guy just tosses it out. I'm going to put this article at the bottom, but what it boils down to is it has been thrown into a tailspin. Yeah, for mismatched signatures. We'll see. The recount is taking place. Apparently, they're going to have to give people the opportunity to correct, and I guess you could say resolve the mismatch signature issue. And we'll see where that leads. There's one other part to this that I want to show. In his ruling, Walker said the plaintiffs, the Florida Democratic Party and Nelson's campaign, had established irreparable injury to the constitutional right of citizens to cast their ballots and have them counted. Yes! Yes! Here, potentially thousands of voters have been deprived of the right to cast a legal vote and have that vote counted by an untrained canvassing board member based on arbitrary determination that the respective signatures didn't match, wrote the judge, appointed to the bench by Obama. Such a violation of the right to vote cannot be undone. You can't fuck people over in this way just because it cuts against your candidate. That's the point. Whether this is going to be enough to catch Walker, or to catch Rick Scott, or to catch DeSantis, we don't know. We don't know. Officials were therefore required, he argued, to allow voters the opportunity to have their ballots counted before the second official results are certified. The county supervisors are directed to allow those voters who should have had an opportunity to cure their ballots in the first place to cure their votes by mail or provisional ballots. Now, he wrote, the court dismissed the state's argument that an additional delay would erode faith in the election. That's nonsense. That can't believe they made that case. That should have prejudiced the court for you to make an argument like that. There was no reason, the judge observed, why giving all eligible voters the chance to be included would threaten the process. Think about that. Think about what they're arguing. Allowing people to vote will somehow hamper this process, the faith and integrity of the process. Nonsense. Allowing people to vote emboldens the process. You have people who are putting in mail-in votes or provisional ballots, and some random guy looks at it and says, yeah, I think the names match. Toss. How that erodes faith in your process. This idea that people aren't able or aren't allowed to vote, regardless of which way it cuts, Democrat or Republican, allow people to cast their vote. It is within their constitutional right to do so. You have to ask the question, why are the Republican Party so terrified of people voting? I'll let you answer that one for yourself. After all, this is the party of voter suppression and monkeying around with the results. Closing polling locations, putting in these voter ID laws, adding extra hurdles for people to be able to vote. If you're scared, say you're scared. We used to have a saying at the barbershop, if you're scared, say you're scared. Sounds like somebody's scared. Let these people vote. I'll end it at that. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support the PayPal or Patreon. Thanks all.